Hello, hello, and welcome back to Common Courtesy. I am your host and moderator, Nikki Prue. Next to me I have...
Sean Nicholas, aka Desire Some More. Hi, how are you guys?
Welcome back.
Thank you.
And next to Sean over here, we are welcoming today...
Courtney Harbaugh.
Hello, Courtney.
How are you?
Thank you. Good, how are you?
I am well. Yeah, my sister did finally just get an apartment, so...
Oh,
Congratulations,
Danny.
She went to pick up her keys today, and she starts work next week, so she's moving in, tomorrow.
Oh, good.
So that's pretty exciting.
It's amazing.
So anyway, as far as our hot topics of the day, the first thing we wanted to talk about was Melissa Benoist went live on, was it YouTube? She posted it on Instagram. Thank you. Speaking about, in a lot of detail, about her dealings with domestic abuse, or as she called it,
domestic violence.
Intimate partner violence.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a heartbreaking video. If you haven't seen it, watch it. I think it's important for everyone to see, even just with the small chance that it's going to help somebody. So anyway, what are your thoughts on what you saw after you watched the whole thing?
Like I was saying earlier, I'm a very big fan of hers. She's the lead actress on Supergirl. And I love superheroes.
Yes, I should have mentioned that. See, I don't watch the show. I know of her, mostly from older things, but I know you're a huge fan.
Yeah, and she plays Supergirl, and it's so crazy that, you wouldn't think that someone like that would go through that. And it's very humanizing, to know that, she has the same problems that we do. And,
hides them in the same way is what really got me.
Exactly. I watched the entire video, and, I believe her, because there were some comments saying that, she's lying, she's making it up, and there's no way you can make up something like that. And I have my own things going on, because it kind of brought my own past into light, because they basically think she was saying, he was checking her devices, he wouldn't allow her to flirt with other men or do, a kissing scene with other actors, which is a very hard thing to do, especially in Hollywood. So, I mean,
Well,
it's a touchy subject.
It is. Well, yeah, it definitely is, and I feel like it goes a lot deeper than just one conversation. But Courtney, what are your thoughts?
I think it's important for people to know that in not even just this type of situation, but you're not alone in violence for with domestic partners or even hostile work environments, stuff like that. I think it's really important for people to know that you're not alone, and in those situations it is very scary, and it's more than anything, it's kind of humiliating.
It's alienating.
It is.
Isolated, which is the point.
Yeah, and I think more than anything, people who are subject to any sort of violence really feel like they end up taking it on themselves. It's my fault. I allow this to happen. And I think the most important thing is to know that it's not your fault, and it is what somebody else does to you that you don't ask for. It is 100% never your fault, and to
never
to reach out.
And I think that's the most important thing. I think you're right. That is, if you take anything from it, that's kind of what she said at the end too. Mm-hmm. It's, I'm here, I'm with you, you're not alone, and anyone going through that, you're not. And please, that's something that's really important to remember.
Absolutely. I think it takes certain types of people to speak up about those things. I know from my own personal experience speaking up with some stuff that's happened to me, 2 of my best friends actually became my best friends because I spoke up about it. And we had the same thing in common. One of my friends, it provoked her to actually say something against her abuser. And then my other best friend, it was just kind of something that, it was our first conversation sitting in a Starbucks parking lot, and it just kind of came out, and we have been best friends ever since. You find that common ground, and to have a bonding experience with somebody who's been through something, having that understanding. You can have as much support from your spouse and from your friends and from your family, but to have somebody who's been through that and kind of understand the trauma that comes after that, the lifelong problems that come with that, it's nice to have somebody to lean on.
Yeah, because she did say that. She's I'm not fundamentally, my outlook on life is a lot different. And like I said, you see these people on TV, And I just didn't think, because her character on Supergirl is like the nicest person in the world. And those are kind of her characters, the shy girl, whatever, on Glee. She played this girl, Marley Rose. And she had, her character had like bulimia, whatnot. And she was dealing with that. And she's just a very nice person. I think he's incredibly brave, though. Incredibly brave to bring
100%, I agree.
To bring that up, So I think the reason why she shared it was so, anyone who is dealing with it, who have dealt with it, can have a conversation without feeling ashamed, without feeling alone.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. Well, we are going to move on to another not quite as heavy topic. We're making a smooth transition today.
Some fun things, yeah.
So Gaberielle Union, who was one of the judges on America's Got Talent for one season, has recently been let go. And they're not necessarily saying there's connection, but there was some trouble behind scenes. She was dealing with a lot of uncomfortable, kind of borderline racist comments, not just to her, but to others. There was comments made about her hairstyles.
Oh,
they were too black for the show's audience. Yada, yada, yada. So she has been let go, and now there's an investigation, I guess you could call it.
By SAG-AFTRA.
Yes, I hate
the Screen Actors Guild and American Radio Television Hosts Association. It's the Actors Union.
Right. Every time I try to...
It's hard.
It sounds like I'm sneezing. But, Courtney, I'm going to go to you first. Your thoughts on this whole scenario?
I think that there is a lot of pressure towards people who are on TV. I think that honestly, in this day and age, you can't be too black or too white or too Mexican or too Asian.
That's what I found really weird about that comment. I'm like, what is that even? What?
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, we're in a culture now where people are moving towards, and they have been for a lot of years, moving towards like unity within everybody else. Everybody knows that America's history is sordid and it's all that crap. I think that it's important to honestly just love and accept people for who they are, so long as you're not like hurting other people or like blatantly causing discomfort with people that you're around and stuff like that. Honestly, it's trivial that anybody would even say something like that.
And it was also like, it was the smoking from Simon Cowell.
Oh, Simon was smoking in his dressing room and was seeping into everything.
Right.
That's just rude.
It is super rude. It is. And I'm like, why, complaining about that shouldn't earn you a boot out the door.
Right. I think, because when they made that comment, just to clarify, when they made that comment, like, her hair is too black, she was saying, NBC came back and said what they meant was that they don't shoot the show in continuity. So every time you're on stage, you have to have like the same kind of hairstyle, which is kind of bogus.
And why
to
did
me.
they?
Because
I mean, like that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because she would have.
That's a completely different issue.
She would have her ponytail and then her braids, and she would go back and forth, whatever. But I just don't know. I understand they say continuity, yes, but in a show like that, I don't see how that would be a problem, because we know when they're like going on auditions, the audition stage, it's filmed like out of context. It doesn't really matter what the timeline is. So I just think that was kind of just, like, I'll be honest, like, I believe her. I don't think Gaberielle Union, she's been out there
I
for
absolutely
years.
do.
I kind of believe her. And because it was also Jay Leno said something, he made a comment that offended Asian people. And I think the fact that she spoke up, I think that's incredibly brave, like Melissa Benoist. But at the same time, Ronan Farrow was saying on The View that NBC has had a culture of protecting powerful men like that. Like Simon Cowell, that is illegal for you to smoke inside, I believe. You can't, like in places of business.
Pretty much like 90% of businesses like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And
not more.
And I smoke, and I don't smoke inside, and I would completely understand. And it's Simon Cowell. He's kind of an asshole on television, so I think he's probably an asshole,
it's
like
arrogant.
behind. Yeah, and he doesn't even care. I don't think. I believe that everything she said, she is right. That's other than that, SAG wouldn't be trying to investigate it.
Yeah.
I think they should. And Howard Stern said some shit too. He's like he called Simon Cowell a freak.
God, he was like.
Yeah. He's like.
He was angry actually. I wish I could.
You have a quote? I don't know, because like he said something like just really quick. He's like, I can't believe this freak that he's still running the show, that the men stay no matter how ugly they are, what they look like, how talentless they are. And I think he was saying that about Howie Mandel. But but he's like but he's I think he has a point. I mean, the women on that show have been, Simon and Howie have been on that show for years now. And then now, you know, her and Julianne Hough are gone after one season. Like, I don't know. I didn't watch the show myself, but, you know, it could have, I don't think she's wrong. They called her difficult. And I've been called that. I don't know about you as women.
Well, whenever you open your mouth.
Yeah, you're difficult.
You're difficult.
I've been called that. They're like, oh, Sean, you're difficult. I'm like, no, because I'm not going to sit here and let you, you know, run my life.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, oh.
You're always difficult when you stop just agreeing with everything.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, how did you feel, Nikki, when you read it?
But kind of the same way, because, I mean, that's always a fear, and I was watching The View earlier.
Yeah.
They made a good point as to a lot of people aren't in the position to speak up against something that is being done that isn't right, because they can't afford to lose their job, because, you know, it was kind of divided down the middle. Where it was like, well, if you have a platform to speak on and you have a voice and people listen, you should use that for good. And, you know, they said not everybody can afford to do that, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody can, which is why it is so scary, and you are afraid of that backlash and being labeled a troublemaker, or, you know, being too loud and just stirring up dust.
Yeah, because now that you say that, like mentioning those words that they use, difficult, loud, whatever, all of that has been said about me as well. Like, I don't think that
Same.
I'm a difficult person, and it's not about me. It's about Gaberielle.
It is.
But
it is. But it's you know, that's a relatable thing. Like,
Yeah.
You can understand being, I don't want to use the word discriminated against, but it's, I guess, a form of that. Like, it's a relatable thing. No matter, she's famous, makes God knows how much,
Right.
and she still has these issues, and she still spoke out against them, and she's still getting she's getting a lot of support from, you know, all the right people, but she's still, I'm sure she's dealing with backlash, and they're being sneaky and vague with their statements.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a bullshit deal, and I hope she gets what's coming. I hope she, you know,
really
finds
fast.
a resolution.
You know who I love? Ellen Pompeo. She's the actress that plays Meredith Grey on Grey's Anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
I liked her comment because what she said was, and I don't hope I don't offend anyone, but she's like, you know, white girls, this is just, it's not just for girls of color. She said, listen up, white girls. It's not just for girls of color. When you see something happen, everyone says anything, it can be anything, but we should all speak up. I thought that was very telling because she's coming from that position. You know, she's a white woman and she's saying that. I don't know if there's any truth in that, but like, you know, I mean,
I think there is.
She's always been a great advocate for you know, minorities and things like that. Like, the show's taking a direction about healthcare right now and health insurance.
Don't get
and
me
how
started.
bad it is in America. So she's always been kind of an advocate for that.
All right. Well, that being said, we'll just have to update you when we find out if there is any resolution.
Yeah, I don't think
But
there will
in
be. Like, just they made a
Probably
statement.
not. They'll probably make it go away, but
Yeah,
good luck, Gabrielle. We're thinking of you anyway.
we
So
stand with
moving on,
him.
and we're rocking. Next, we are going to talk about Pete Davidson and
yeah.
the fact that he's going to be touring live shows starting, I believe, in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And he has decided to make all of his showgoers sign a disclaimer that says basically you can't talk about, post about, take pictures of, videos, anything to do with his show on social media. And if you do, you're in violation, and he can sue you for up to $1 million. I just find this interesting because, like, you know what? I'm going to see who wants to go first. Because I have something to say. I'll wait.
So, I see the point in like protecting your work and not so people just aren't on YouTube and then that's
100%.
That's it. However, there were many times to where I saw somebody on YouTube, comedian Josh Wolf actually. I saw one of his skits and I about died laughing. And so when Kyle found out that he was going to be in Tampa, we bought tickets and we sat front row because I was so excited to see him live. And then also when his skit came on, he started doing it. I got so excited, I was on the edge of my seat because I was seeing it live. I mean, it's the same thing as
I saw him live too.
It's just funny.
Like in the last town that I lived, that's so fun. And it was the same thing. It was like a tiny little theater, and it was super exciting. But anyway,
but it's like the same thing as music. It's, I mean, I listen to songs
it's
in the
such a
radio
different
all the
experience
time,
seeing it live.
and then you experience it live, and they kind of do their own little spin on it every single time that they do it. I mean, the kind of that you gain popularity from that. I mean, who's gonna like? I'm gonna be pissed if I hear, oh, this guy is so amazing, he's so funny, he's so this, he's so that, and you go and see him, not knowing any of his material, and either he is really terrible or is just kind of like not my type of jokes or my type of music or whatever. Like, that's really going to irritate me if I'm expecting to go to a country concert and Marilyn Manson walks out and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here?
That's an excellent comparison. Yes. Like, what is this a nightmare?
Yes, it could be a potential nightmare. And then honestly, suing me for $1 million, honey, you're gonna be waiting until a long time.
Get in line. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, get in line.
Get in line with the rest of my bill collector.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
When you sent me that, because I heard about it, and you sent that to me, the link, the article, I was like, you know, it's almost as if it's so outrageous that I think it is outrageous. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's ever gonna sue anyone for $1 million. And as well, like, yeah. I think she brought up an interesting point where, you know, she saw a video of it, of, who's this guy again? Josh Wolf. She saw a video, she went to go see him live. And you're right, it is different every time you're in front of an audience. It may be the same joke, but it's gonna be different
delivery.
Because the room is different, you're in a different city. And also you're in a different state of being, you know, every day you wake up. But I just think that's it. I just think it's outrageous. That is not, I don't think he's honestly is gonna do this, but I get why he's trying to protect his art as well. But there's gotta be a point. Other comedians have done this, like Louis C.K. and Dave Chappelle. I understand.
I get it to a point, but I just feel like the crazier you act about it, the more people are gonna try to do it, to get around it. I don't know, I just found it funny because like he's just a fascinating guy to me. I watch a lot of SNL. And my sister and I talk about it all the time. She's always like, she's like, what is up with him? And I'm like, a lot of things actually. He's spoken about his mental illness, and he has like is it bipolar or borderline personality disorder. So, and he's spoken about having like a rough few years, but now I feel like he's just like, yep, here I am, and I'm gonna just do outrageous shit. And it doesn't matter because, yeah, I already told you I got some stuff going on, so I'm going to just act it all out now. And it surprised me, it kind of made me laugh, but I don't know if he's joking. Another good point that was made was, it's an emotional roller coaster with this story.
Right.
Another good point, though, was, is it like one big social media experiment to be like, see how sensitive everybody is? Do you see? But then I'm like, that's like, awful. Like, he said basically if people show up and won't sign it, they just get their money refunded and they just don't go to the show.
I don't know how I would feel about that.
No way. I just think it's so weird. It's just a weird thing. I don't know. It was the lightest thing we talked about today.
Like I said, I think it's so outrageous. Like, it is actually outrageous. Like, it doesn't mean I don't think he's gonna actually do it, but like
side note, this just made me think of something, and I'm not gonna call them out. But it wouldn't make a difference. It's in Montana, nobody even knows.
Say it.
Fair enough.
Say it.
I went to a salon once to get my hair cut. I did have to sign something, like she was starting on my hair and I was going through this. She goes, oh, and sign this. I couldn't leave a bad review on Facebook, on Google, on any of that. So I'm like, you have free reign to fuck up my hair, and I can't say anything about it. She ended up giving me the most glorious haircut.
You're like, I'm sorry, it was great. But
I fly back to Montana just to get my hair cut by her.
I mean,
I'm not even kidding. I
sounds
really
like a
do.
serious place. Like I probably would too.
Yeah, no, but
That's
she ended up
insane.
leaving that salon and opening up her own. And she I've had my hair cut for almost 30 years of my life, and I've never had to sign a piece of paper that said you cannot
Never.
say anything bad about the salon at all, ever. I'm like, no wonder you guys have amazing reviews on Facebook.
She's like, yes, that's how we get you all in.
But that's
Oh, my
that's
Lord.
kind of crazy because it's like you're controlling people
Seems
what they
unfair.
say. Yeah,
You're controlling
but-
their opinions.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, that's not okay.
I mean, anyway. So, moving on to our last topic.
Oh yeah,
Which just kind of a fun.
yeah, yeah.
So we were talking the other day about we've all are or have been servers for many years, and we were just talking about some of the things that either we've heard about or may have happened to us in our past that are upsetting
Yeah.
on some levels.
That's funny. You want me to go first? All right, I'll go.
Go.
So like bartending for me, because I recently got back into it. My biggest pet peeve is like when some stranger walks up to you and it's like, "Oh my God, make me a surprise," and I'm like, "Okay, who are you? Like, what do you mean?" So I remember one time I had this table.
Who are you?
yeah, really. Like, how can you ask a stranger to surprise you with some bullshit? Like, I don't know. But anyway, because I don't know if you drink vodka, tequila. I'm not getting
That's
into
a
it.
drunk white girl drink.
Right,
The
hello.
bartender.
Oh, did you get that from my my impersonation? No, so like I had this.
It was spot on.
I had two girls, these two women sitting at my bar. They were actually at a table. So I went over and I was like, "Oh, so what are you guys drinking?" She's like, "Oh," one girl was like, "Oh, give me a mango frozen margarita." I'm like, "Oh, bet." And then the next person was like, "I don't know, surprise me." And I was like, "Oh, no, like, come on, you want tequila, you want vodka?" She's like, "Oh, no, surprise me." She was kind of rude, like waved me off as I'm nothing. So I was like, "All right, bitch, that's okay." So I went over and I made a drink. I got the frozen mango margarita, and I made this little cocktail, and I put a little lime on it, and I gave it a little straw. And I walked back to the table, and I set them down. I was like, "Here's your frozen margarita, and here's, your surprise." So she picks it up. She picks it up. I'll do it right here. She picks it up. It's like, oh. "Yo, is that straight up water?" And I was like, "Surprise, bitch. I bet you didn't see that coming. Now what are you drinking?" And she's like, "Give me a frozen margarita." And her friend was
the
dying.
best
Her friend,
thing I've
her
ever
face,
heard.
she was laughing so hard she was crying. And, and this woman's face, she just looked so embarrassed. And you know what? I guess, mission accomplished. That's my little story for today.
I feel like
Know what you want. I
really
can't
feel
surprise
like you. Won. Oh, I could not agree more, and that is the best thing I've ever heard.
You got one?
Every single day, it's, what's in this? I don't know. It's on the menu. It only tells you, like,
You ordered it.
literally right there.
You
Right there.
ordered it. You read it to me when you ordered it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, working at Dr. Barbecue,
Yeah.
we've got in this district some vegan people. They ordered the vegan pork rind nachos. They want the vegan nachos. So you want a side of pico?
I just got it.
You want a side?
Stupid.
You want a side of pico? It's pork rinds, meat, queso, sour cream shit, pico.
I always
Pico.
say if you want
You want a
to
side of pico?
if you want to travel the world, just bartend or be
Ramming.
a server somewhere. Be a bartender, be a server somewhere, and you'll see all kinds.
Collect all kinds of stories.
So, okay.
Do you have one?
Honestly, there's many. There's a lot. There's sometimes a new one every day. But I'm gonna say, and my biggest one is when people walk and become like, they're like a person my size becomes 12 sizes bigger, and they just walk in a way that I can't get around them, and they're moving very slow, and I'm in a very big hurry, and then you try to go around, and they just faint enough where you have to like, in doorways, I just want to send out like a PSA. If you're in a public restaurant, just be mindful of your personal space and where your body is. And don't let it go rogue. Keep it, just stand still. You don't need to be walking around. But that's it.
That's good. You told me that the other day. Okay.
Get out. Anyway,
Yes.
Anywho.
People in the service station that just kind of meander their way around the bar, and they're standing right there in front of
Everything.
And after you say, excuse me, just gonna reach around, for like the 50th time, you would think, oh, maybe I shouldn't stand.
do you have your big fat ass, please?
That's what I say every time. Well,
when it's loud.
Things can be annoying, but I'm glad I get to work with you when we get to, which is rare, I feel like, but we're there in spirit at least, so that's nice.
Yes.
But anyway, do you have anything else to add on anything else from today?
Mm-mm.
I think that is our show. Thank you so much, Sean.
And always, guys, like we always like to say, come back next week, and until then, have a little bit more common courtesy. Bye, guys.
Bye.